bring in Steve Goldstein to get you set from the Panthers' perspective. You know, Steve, you've been hearing us talk about the Panthers and their solid start to the season. You know this team very well. Has there been any difference in their style of play this season compared to last?
Well, Joel Quenneville, Jackie, has described it as night and day. And, you read between the lines, between what Q says, and I know we're all into the analytics and all the advanced stats and everything else in the game, but I get a feeling Joel Quenneville thinks this team just plays harder. This team tries harder. This team has more intensity, has more enthusiasm on the bench due to guys like Hornqvist and Gudas. And that's really the new attitude on this team. There's so many new players. And I also think it may have rejuvenated some of the players that have been here, and they found a way to win close games. So they are definitely playing with a new attitude, and it might be as simple as bringing in a little juice, a little bit of meat here to South Florida.
Well, it's interesting you bring up the new guys. We just were chatting with EJ about Hornqvist and the impact that he's made. Yes, he's got 10 points, but he's also someone that's got a lot of experience in this league. Why do you think some of these players have been such good fits in this situation in Florida?
Well, first off, Jackie, you have some players just getting more opportunity. No one better than Carter Verhaeghe.
Yeah.
The 9 goals in 52 games, a rookie last year. He's got 6 and 10 games with the Panthers. He's got speed. He's got hands. He knows how to play the game coming from Tampa. He's paid his dues, 34 in the A a couple of years ago. And now at age 25, he's getting an opportunity to play with Alexander Barkov, and he's making the most of it. But when you talk about a guy like Hornqvist, I mean, the fire that he brings, the presence at the net, the dependability he's got. I mean, you see in these goals, he's got 6 goals, probably in about 6.5 feet. I mean, we know where Patric Hornqvist has made his living throughout his career. And I think having a guy like him, this team has never had a guy like that before. These other players are absolutely loving it.
Well, let's go from some of the new guys to some of the core guys that have been there for a while. Huberdeau, Barkov, Ekblad. They're playing well, too, to start this season. What stood out to you about those players and the way they've played to start the year?
Well, it's the best start I've ever seen. Certainly Barkov have. And offensively, Huberdeau and Ekblad are off to their best starts as well. Huberdeau, in fact, the 14 points in the first 10 games of a season is a Panther record. And you see Aaron Ekblad, huge ice time, all situations, putting up points, and Barkov is absolutely flying out there. I think he's loving playing with Verhaeghe and Duclair on the other side. There's a lot of speed there. So, these 3 guys are the mainstays. These 3 guys, in my opinion, Jackie, they have never been the problem with the Panthers. They've needed more help around them. And certainly they've got it this year. And with, a better attitude, a little more personality, a little more hunger, especially Barkov, he is playing at a whole new level. I don't know if he was banged up a little last year. He'll never tell you that. He's, the typical hockey player, but he looks absolutely terrific this year.
Yeah, we've had a couple Panthers on the network to start the season, and there just feels like there's a bit of a different vibe coming from this team this year. But I got to ask you about SERGEI BOBROVSKY. They go get their #1 goaltender, and he's had his ups and downs since he became a Panther. Do you believe that he can still be that #1 guy between the pipes that he was in Columbus?
Well, it was an impressive night and a huge night for him here on Tuesday. Last Thursday, he struggled in a loss to Nashville. Chris Driedger started the next 2 games. So Bobrovsky came back the other night against Detroit, gave up a bad goal early in the game, and then absolutely slammed the door. He looked like vintage Bob when he was winning Vezina trophies in Columbus, sequences of 2-3 shots in a row, and he was just turning them away. Here it is right here. This was late in the second period with the Panthers up a goal. So the hope is that's a springboard for Bobrovsky. The record is terrific. The underlying numbers are not terrific. He's found a way to get points, obviously, and win just about every single game. As good as Chris Driedger has been as the backup, and he's been phenomenal, they're going to need the old Bob. So this is a great big test for him tonight and this entire team against Tampa Bay.
Yeah, it should be a good one. The battle of the 2 Florida teams, Panthers, Bolts. Steve, always a pleasure chatting with you. Hopefully we'll see you in person sooner rather than later.
I certainly hope so. By the way, it was 78 and sunny driving to the rink today. I thought I should let you know that.
Of course. All right, bye.
Sorry.
See you later, Steve.
Bye.